As the stock market has been focused on the impact of GLP-1s on hims and hers, the business continues to grow in a number of different areas. There's actually a very diverse growth across a number of product lines, growing across the board from everything that we know from their quarterly reports. And a recent article the company put out highlighting what they're going to be introducing in 2025 shows that they're really expanding into more products. And we should be looking at this more like a platform company. I've been talking about this a lot here on Asymmetric Investing, that the focus on GLP-1s is just the wrong place to look for hims and hers. Yes, that's an important product. It is going to determine maybe what the next quarter or two looks like, but it does not determine what the next 10 or 20 years looks like. So if you have a long-term view with hims and hers, I think this is the kind of information you should look at, not what's going on a day-to-day basis with different GLP-1s that are compounded and sold by hims and hers. So let's dig into that long-term story here. My name is Travis Hoium. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. So let's get right to what hims and hers said. And this is coming right from the desk of the CEO, how healthcare will transform in 2025. What I liked here is that it really goes back to the starting of the company. He says a singular focus of improving the slow, complicated healthcare system for the US and for millions of people who struggle with a stigmatized condition and can't find care designed specifically for the individual needs. There's a lot of things packed in that statement, but what it's really saying is that the current healthcare system is not serving everyone the way that they should, whether that's convenience or whether it comes down to cost or availability of treatments. So he says that the individual's ability to control their own healthcare is going to become central to every decision. This is a world of information and artificial intelligence. Answers are at your fingertips. So why do you need to go to a doctor's office at a scheduled time, maybe weeks in the future, to get the answers that you need? That's just not realistic in today's environment. So we're going to be using more telehealth, using licensed prescribers who are using personalized versions of their medications. No coincidence that this is exactly what hims and hers is making. And the general theme is that he is saying that individuals seeking care will be the drivers of that care, not federal agencies, not drug makers, and not the payers, who are usually those insurance companies. So what's next for hims and hers? Menopause. This is something that the company has talked about on recent conference calls, is that as they expand their product lineup, they started with things like ED and hair loss for men, moved into the hers side of the business. This is going to be an expansion of that. Hers is really the fastest growing major segment, and menopause fits into this, often stigmatized, not very often discussed, but yet very common thing that every woman will eventually go through. So he says that this will be the version of past healthcare conditions like they had in men's sexual performance, hair loss, and weight loss. So they're going to reduce stigma and increase access. So they've done that in dermatology, sexual health, mental health, and weight loss. Perimenopause and menopause are a natural next step for the company. Beyond that product line extension, artificial intelligence, no surprise here, will be a key to more personal and accessible healthcare. Currently, most of the use cases are doing things like decreasing wait times and getting patients closer to providers. But this year, he says, incorporating AI into how patients engage and receive their care will enable world-class, high-quality, personalized care for every individual, regardless of their income, location, and condition. The democratization of healthcare. This is what makes hims and hers differentiated. It's also what makes the business very scalable. Currently, we rely on a single opinion from a single provider to decide what is best for our unique situation. That's formed based on valuable years of experience, but it's limited to only that provider's education and experience. This is, again, where computers and artificial intelligence can actually provide a better and smarter experience. They can actually be smarter about healthcare than any individual doctor. That's maybe uncomfortable to talk about or say if you're in the healthcare community, but that's the reality of technology and where we are with AI today. So AI has the power to bring the expertise of millions of providers to a single customer rather than allowing a single provider to reach more individuals. MetaMatch is going to be the key for hims and hers in growing that business. Obesity is going to be another key for the company. No surprise here, highlighting compounded semaglutide. And he talks about 2/3 of American adults are overweight or obese. And this is the kind of treatment that can really help that. But the big challenge for the industry is affordability. Clearly, Hims and Hers is bringing a more affordable product to market than most of the traditional pharmaceutical companies. So this is the vision that's being outlined by Hims and Hers, and I think it makes a lot of sense based on their financial results. Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. When you look at Hims and Hers financial results and the KPIs or key performance indicators that they report each quarter, you want to keep this strategy in mind. What is the company trying to do? They're trying to expand into more and more products so they can serve more and more solutions to a growing number of customers. All of these tools, all the artificial intelligence tools, allowing the expertise of millions of providers to be accessible to a single person, this is all about growing. This is all about growing the user base and the value that can be generated from that user base. So let's look at a couple of numbers that show the progress on those fronts. Since 2021, Hims and Hers has gone from 600,000 subscribers in the ecosystem to 2 million subscribers, growing at a 61% compound annual rate. That's phenomenal. That's exactly what we want to see. I think that's probably the most important number when you look at Hims and Hers' financials. But the second one there is the average order volume, or AOV. That is how much is each of those customers spending. As you're able to provide more value to customers, treat more conditions, pull more of that spending from the doctor's office and a traditional pharmacy onto a platform like Hims and Hers, that number is going to go up as well. So those two things work together to give you the financials that you see here. And the corner that I think Hims and Hers has really turned over the past year is going from being a money-losing company that it wasn't clear if they were on what I call a customer acquisition treadmill, where they're paying to acquire new customers on things like social media with advertising, but then we don't know exactly what the payoff for those customers are. That, I think, has become clear over the past year as margins have improved and the value from those customers is starting to go up. As that order value increases, that really helps improve the ROI on each of those customers. So nearly 100% growth rate for the business overall since 2018, and now is a profitable business. In Q4, they're expecting 90% revenue growth, and based on their previous guidance over the past few quarters, wouldn't be surprised if they beat even that. So you add all of this together, and I think from a strategic standpoint, from a long-term investor standpoint, Hims and Hers is absolutely heading in the right direction. This is a platform company that is connecting solutions with millions of customers and potential subscribers. That number is just 2 million right now. There's no reason that that couldn't be 50 million or 100 million 10 or 20 years from now. That those customers could be spending, instead of $100, spending a couple of $100s per month. I know our family spends lots of money on healthcare, so would love to see those services expand, and things like telehealth and artificial intelligence are going to help do that and make it more effective for those customers. That's going to disrupt the current ecosystem, but it's also going to be a huge growth driver and profit driver for Hims and Hers long term. So I love the vision that is being outlined by Hims and Hers, and when the vision lines up with the financials, that's the best thing that we can get as investors. The pullback of the stock and the focus on GLP-1s, which may come under even more pressure in 2025, that I look at as really an opportunity to buy more shares of Hims and Hers, because I think this is much more of a long-term growth story than it is a GLP-1 story. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.